Hey y'all, it's time for another episode of 10th Inning Talk. I'm your girl April, also known as All About April 3 on all social media platforms, and I am here to deliver the latest and greatest in professional and collegiate softball and baseball news. But of course, before we get into the deep stuff, I have to remind you to check out my guy Flobo Boyce's latest podcast episode. Yes, he has a new one up and available for you to be able to watch. And of course, you can listen to them, but you can also watch them on YouTube under the Black Baseball Mixtape. And then, of course, you should always finish your breakfast to get the latest and greatest in Black baseball news. But let's go on ahead and hop into episode 16, which I have titled All About the AUSL All-Star Cup and Welcome to the Hall. Because both Major League Baseball and the AUSL have had a fantastic week, with the AUSL concluding officially their inaugural season and Major League Baseball having their Hall of Fame ceremony. So a lot has been happening, but I want to make sure that you are ready for it all. Let's start off with the AUSL, Athletes Unlimited Softball League, because I personally, y'all know that I have enjoyed this season so much and it has gone so well. I talked about it last week on my podcast episode as well, but this week, it literally concluded with the championship series, or so we think. But yeah, so the Talons and the Bandits, they played each other in the championship series, and ultimately the Talons came out on top. That's right, they won 2 straight games, even with the rain delays. And it was actually a really great series because, the Talons and the Bandits were the best 2 teams in the AUSL for this season. But another thing was, the Saturday game was really good. It was tied for a moment, and then Toria Vidalis had, a great hit that put the Talons out on top. But for the Sunday game, shout out to Montana Fouts of the Talons. She pitched a shutout game. Nobody scored. So she's a Bama girl. She's an SEC girl. And just happy to see some great softball take place. Not only have the Talons won the inaugural season championship of the AUSL has also announced some awards, and I want to share them with you because this is just so momentous. Beginning with the MVP, which is Aaron Koffel of the Bandits, and Flobo actually ultimately became a Bandits fan. So pretty happy that he also decided to take on this journey with me and watching the AUSL, but glad to see him also be committed to a team. The pitcher of the year is Georgina Korick of the Talons. Hitter of the year is Aaron Koffel of the Bandits. The defensive player of the year, Hannah Flippen of the Talons, and then the rookie of the year, Anna Gold of the Blaze. So yes, definitely some outstanding things that took place. And let me also add for Montana Fouts in her championship game, she had 118 pitches, 6 strikeouts in that shutout. So this is just the kind of work that the Talons were putting out day in and day out when they took the field. Just fantastic. Now, in regards to the AUSL, yes, the inaugural season is over, but the AUSL is doing something else. They have something that is called the All-Star Cup that they are beginning, and I'm really excited about this. However, this is going to be an individual award type of cup. Still, It will be a team sport, obviously, because you can't play softball by yourself. But they will be divided into four teams: gold, orange, blue, and purple. There will be four captains. There will also be 60 players across the league. So you're going to see many of your favorite players who will be participating in this. So players like Sam Landry and Aaliyah Benford and Sierra Sacco and Michaela Edenfield. So yes, you are going to see quite a few of these players participate in this particular league. Now, the draft will be taking place this weekend, if I'm not mistaken, July 31st or August 1st. But being that this is an individual awards type thing, what you need to be aware of is it's based strictly on points. So you can have and gain points, but if you're a pitcher, you literally can lose points too. So you can lose like 10 points for someone scoring. And the points will be available for everyone in real time. So you can literally see the points on the board of everyone who will be taking the field at that particular time, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And whoever ends up with the most points at the end of that particular week, they will be named the new captains. Now, this All-Star Cup will be taking place from August 2nd through August 31st. And the three cities where it will be held, it will be mostly in Rosemont, Illinois, but also in Holly Springs, North Carolina, and Greenville, North Carolina. So I am really, really excited about this. Let me give you an example of what this can look like. So for offensive points, a single is 10 points, a double 20 points, a triple 30 points, a home run 40 points, a stolen base 10 points. If you're caught stealing, negative 10 points. A walk is 10 points. If you're hit by a pitch, 8 points. And a sacrifice fly bunt is also 10 points. If a batter goes 3 for 5 with 2 singles and a home run, but is caught stealing, they will be awarded 50 points. So yes, you have a lot of ways to be able to make points, and also again lose points. So I love the fact that this is something that is out there, and I do wonder if this is something that eventually Major League Baseball will also incorporate, because you know it's a month after the softball season ends. Now, in regards to extra innings, there are no extra points in extra innings. Typically, whenever you hear extra innings, because I'm a teacher, I think extra credit. That means you probably can get more than what you would originally get. But no, that is not the case here. So I am interested in exactly what y'all think about this All-Star Cup. I think it's going to be exciting for you to be able to play on a team, but still be able to move in an individual way for your own success, which ultimately will lead to someone being the All-Star Cup winner. So yes, again, this will be taking place August 2nd through August 31st. A lot of your favorite players will be on there. I'm most likely going to be doing a TikTok or YouTube to let you know exactly who the players are who will be participating. But I also kind of want to wait until the draft happens, which again is, like I said, July 31st, August 1st, before I do that, so that you can be adequately prepared for what's to come. But the AUSL just seems to be getting it right with the fans and how they present everything. There were so many sold out games, if I'm not mistaken, at least 16 sold out games this entire season. And for them to be committed to continuing to not just be ready for the fan experience, but to be committed to delivering great softball. I'm here for it all. And I just know that this is something that is going to continue to get better. So, and listen, just because you are on Team Gold this week, you may not be on Team Gold in week 2, especially because you got a whole new captain. That means you got a whole new team. And that alone in itself makes this very, very exciting. So I can't wait to hear your comments on TikTok and, of course, YouTube. Be sure to follow me on both of those. That's where most of my content will be in discussing this. But yeah, we're here. And this is going to be a moment for all of us to be able to witness. Last thing, let me know, who do you think will be the All-Star Cup champion? I'm not making a claim yet. I have to wait to see exactly how the draft goes, the initial draft goes, and then I will go on ahead and make my claim. But yes, this is something that is very, very exciting. Now, moving on to Major League Baseball. Well, let's do World Baseball Classic first, because Dusty Baker has been announced as the manager for Team Nicaragua. Now, for those of you who don't know, Team Nicaragua will be in Pool D, which will be playing in Miami. And the countries playing in Miami are Venezuela, the Dominican Republic, also Israel, and the Netherlands. So with pools, it's really the best 2 teams move on to the next round. If you remember in 2023, everyone called Pool D the death pool, because they had Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, etc., all in that pool, and everyone had the Dominican Republic coming out of Pool D, and they did not. In fact, Venezuela left the initial pool undefeated, which shocked the world. So I said this last night on the Black Baseball Mixtape, and I'm going to say it again here. It ain't a surprise that Puerto Rico is hosting their own, because Puerto Rico showed out for the 2023 World Baseball Classic. And I have said on numerous occasions, outside of Team USA, Puerto Rico was my favorite team to watch. And it wasn't even close. They had the swag. Everybody's hair was blonde, including the managers. They just went out there, had a good time, and also played some great baseball. So I'm interested to see exactly how this will apply with Dusty being there. And on last night, we talked about, is this a little deal, big deal, no deal? And there were different takes on it. I think it's a big deal because Dusty is so celebrated here in Houston. Remember, they won the 2022, if I'm not mistaken, the 2022 World Series under him. And it's just something that Houstonians do not forget. Not only have they not forgotten it, they love to give Dusty this credit, to acknowledge him. So listen, if Team Nicaragua was playing in Houston, I think y'all would see exactly what I am talking about in regards to Dusty being that type of figure here. But yes, for me, he is that guy that people will still celebrate and honor. And I just can't wait to see exactly what that looks like when he takes the field with the team as their manager. Let me know your thoughts about it. Do you think it's a big deal, little deal, no deal? Because I definitely want to know. Now, the last piece of the Major League Baseball segment is going to be the Hall of Fame, which takes place in Cooperstown, New York. Now, I had a big question and I had asked, should it be moved? And I'm going to come back to that because I want to go on ahead and congratulate the 5 men who were inducted into Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame. And they are Dick Allen, Billy Wagner, David Parker, Ichiro Suzuki, and then, of course, CC Sabathia. And listen, Ichiro and CC were players that I literally grew up watching. And for me, what makes this moment so special is that I have the opportunity to watch players that I enjoyed watching literally be celebrated for their greatness and to be inducted into greatness for infinity. It's such a beautiful thing for us to be able to have access to. And I love the fact that even David Parker, we know that he unfortunately passed away. His son gave a speech, and a lot of the speech came from the notes that he was preparing before his unfortunate passing. So Ichiro's speech was really good, CC's speech, and so forth. And I really want to make sure that we understand how beautiful it is for people to be celebrated for their greatness. There is a fine line. I know people always talk about, like, I don't like when people are too cocky or confident. Y'all know me. I love it all. I love it all because there are some people who deserve to literally be that. And I feel like Hall of Famers show us that. Like, this is their time to be great. And both Ichiro and CC are first ballot Hall of Famers. Just listen. It doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better than that. We can go back and forth about who didn't vote, who didn't, or whatever, but they are literally enshrined in greatness. So again, congratulations to them. This is a moment that they'll never forget. This is a moment that the world gets to celebrate their greatness and so forth. Now, when we talk about the world celebrating their greatness, it's come up on my TikTok and in other conversations. Should the time be moved? And I brought this up on the podcast episode last night, and I was told, no, it's tradition. And I do think that tradition is important to be able to recognize, especially because it's a Sunday where people are off of work, you can tune in, etc. Their family can participate and so forth. I brought up All-Star and it was like, MLB All-Star already is too much. Absolutely not. But then it got me to thinking, the NFL does the Hall of Fame so amazing. Like, I will say, I don't think any other league comes close to how well the NFL does it. It's just a very classy and organized, but also it is understood that you are recognizing the greatness, and even the people who are there, they have the opportunity to do it. Major League Baseball has their Hall of Fame in the middle of the day on a Sunday when teams are playing. So fans have to choose between, do I watch our flip channels from the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which obviously is a huge deal, or do I watch my favorite team play? I don't feel like we should have to choose. And I personally would love for Major League Baseball to consider putting it at a time This was mentioned last night too. Maybe preseason. Maybe this is something that we do to bring the season in and acknowledge these great players. But again, give it the effect that the NFL does, because the time that is given, it's such a beautiful thing. And I believe that Major League Baseball players who want to watch and honor these same players should have the opportunity to do so as well, not when they are literally playing their own games. So a lot of people may disagree with me because I know that a lot of people are very, very stuck on tradition. But I really want y'all to think about it. Like, is this something that a lot of changes have been made in Major League Baseball? But doing it to actually lead the new season in, do you think that this will be just a great way to be able to start things off? I, yeah, think about that and let me know, because I'm leaning heavily into that particular time with it, since I've been told like absolutely no to All Star. And we can still keep it on a Sunday. We can still have it in, no, nobody's, we're not taking it out of Cooperstown, but I just want the opportunity for all fans to be able to enjoy it, especially since baseball is growing as a sport. We just can't continue to do things that doesn't include all of the fans all the time. And I think that's another big piece of this. Like, you have the fans spread out everywhere rather than focused on the moment. And the moment is identifying the greatness that exemplifies this sport. So let me know your thoughts. I can't wait to hear it. But I'm so glad that you tuned in to episode 16. Let me know your thoughts about the AUSL All-Star Cup. I'm going to be back next week talking about it. And then, of course, let me know what you think about many of the things that are happening with the World Baseball Classic. What do you think about Pool D? Who do you think is coming out of Pool D? Of course, we're going to be talking about that a little bit more. And then, of course, the Hall of Fame inductees. As always, don't forget to check out my guy, Football Boys, in the booth on all streaming platforms. Also, you can watch it on YouTube. And then, of course, finish your breakfast with my guy, Cheats. So happy that y'all were able to join us. Remember, it's a great day to be a baseball and a softball fan. Bye, y'all.